I am Michael Pinter, where I teach you how to start flipping or selling or wholesaling houses. And if you're already doing how to grow your business, I got the sun right in my face. I think it's the best light, whatever it's worth. So I did a video yesterday about the same topic, and I was told that the audio kicked out. So I'm going to do it again, and hopefully I can say what I need to say. Let's check the time. Okay, so I spoke about selling interest in an LLC. Let me see if I can get a better place here where the sun isn't so terrible right on my face. That might be better. Let's see. So as an alternative to signing a contract, you can sell the interest in an LLC. What this means is that sometimes a seller or a seller's attorney is not going to be open to you having a fully assignable contract. This happens. It can happen for a bunch of reasons. It could be an attorney who's a schmuck. It could be a seller who had a bad experience, whatever it is. But it is usually the case that they feel they don't want to assign the contract. So an alternative to that, and I've screwed this up a few times because I've insisted that the contract be assignable. An alternative to that is to have the seller agree to sell it to you in a brand new LLC made specifically for the transaction, and then you sell those interests in the LLC at the closing. So that is an alternative. And I have lost deals because I've insisted on having them assignable, and for whatever reason, the seller or the seller's attorney wouldn't agree to it. Therefore, I would highly recommend that you don't push that topic to ad infinitum. If you're sure the deal is at a good price, just agree, and then you can ask, hey, can we just create an LLC to close in before the closing? And then, so the drawbacks to this is that some sellers are not going to understand it, and some sellers' attorneys are not going to understand it, and that's an issue. So, certainly if your seller has an experienced attorney in New York, they've dealt with this before. It happens more than you would care to believe. But you have to make it clear before buyers even come see the property or make offers on the property that this is a situation where you are not assigning the contract, you are selling interest in the LLC. So it's important to understand that if you make it clear and the seller is using somebody with some kind of experience, that it shouldn't be an issue. If not, then you might need another buyer. So that is the way it goes. Now, so the question that I got before is, does this, do I have to close if I do this situation? And the answer is no. This is being done to avoid closing, right? And I've discussed a lot about how expensive it is in New York to close on a deal, and it's truly expensive everywhere. Like I'm buying a property now in Texas, it's going to cost me $30,000 to sell it. Most of that being realtor commissions when I sell. It's a 6% deal, and if you're selling something for $350,000, you can do the math. It's well over $20,000 right there. So I've had plenty of situations, and let me even take it further step back. Most of the people that I sign contracts to make more money flipping the property than I do when I'm wholesaling it. But the advantages of not having all the risks that you take when you flip, and again, I got renovated for the first 4 years I did this, really from 2013 to 2017, every single property. I didn't even believe in wholesalers. I thought they were morons and knuckle draggers. But if I can make, so I gave an example yesterday, which of course nobody heard because there was no audio, of where I can make $40,000 now, where I think I can make $60,000 or $70,000 later. To me, it's absolutely worth taking the $40,000 now, because I don't know if it's going to be $60,000 or $70,000. What does happen is when you find an end buyer who goes to contract with you to buy it, they could jerk you around for 3-4 months and then just say, I got denied from their mortgage, right? Standard contract is going to have a mortgage contingency. I always try to get people to waive mortgage contingency. I just went into contract with somebody to sell where they did, and that makes me very happy because they really have no way out unless I have a title problem, and there shouldn't be a title problem. Ironically, of course, I have a situation now where I do have a title problem because somebody did something to a property and I have to sue them. But I'm going to get that notice of hesitancy removed shortly, and I'm going to win a very large monetary judgment against them because what they did was malicious, evil, illegal, and sanctionable. So we'll talk about that after that suit ends. But the fact that I can get money now on a wholesale, even if it's less than I think I can make, first of all, you get it sooner, right? It could take you 3-4 months to do the work. It could take you 3-4 months to get a buyer to get his mortgage. You're talking about 6-8 months in most situations. If you're not doing any work, still 3 to 4 months. And I give the example I had where I bought a property for $450 one day, and I found a buyer 2 days later who actually closed very quickly in under 2 months. And I found a buyer at $575, and I did not make $125,000. I made closer to $60,000 or $70,000 because The closing costs on the buy are significant, 10 grand usually. Closing costs on the sale are significant. You're paying 2% to a buyer's agent on a 575 deal. You're paying, over $11,000 just to the buyer's agent, so $15,000 in closing costs on the sale, and then holding costs. Right, I borrowed some money, so there's interest on it. I have taxes. It was a place where there was like $1,400 a month in monthly taxes. So even I had to hold it for 2 or 3 months. Oh, also my lender I used in that case had a 4-month minimum on the interest, so I had to pay 4 months interest, and it was probably 60 grand just to close and sell it right away. So closing is what you want to avoid if you can. Right now, obviously there are situations where if you can't find a wholesale buyer, you're going to want to close and you're going to want to make more money, obviously. But you have to really weigh a quick dime as opposed to a slow quarter. And most of the time I'm going to take that quick dime. That's just my opinion. And because I know that a lot of the unknowns and a lot of the risks come once you close on something and start doing the work on it. So to be clear, anytime you are selling interest, you're creating a contract to sell the interest, and then that is going to, and then the LLC is buying the property, and simultaneously as you buy the property, you're selling the interest to another party. And I've done it many times. I think it makes a lot of sense, and I highly recommend it in situations where a seller or a seller's attorney is not allowing you to assign, or they'll only allow you to assign to an entity that you have full control of. So if they do that, this certainly meets the definition because you're creating the LLC, it's sole member LLC. And I think it's an excellent tool to use in your tool belt to monetize deals that you have at a decent price that you can assign without having to assign it. So I hope this was helpful. If you're interested in all the ways I can help you, go to howtoflipnewyork.com or learntoflipandwholesale.com. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. If you're watching any media channel, please hit the thumbs up. The likes really help all of the SEO and algorithms, so a lot more people are seeing my videos lately. I really appreciate everyone who's been liking my videos, and please keep the comments coming. I post 5 times a week. I usually have no idea what to talk about, so I look to your questions. You can ask any question. It does not have to be about the video you're watching. It can be about anything. And if it's something simple, I'll just reply with an answer. If it's something I've covered recently, I'll send you a link to a video on it. And if it is something that I haven't covered in a while, though I've never covered before, I will send you a brand new video on it. So thank you very, very much for watching.